Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing something a little different. We're going to be analyzing one of the most compelling paranormal investigations I've seen in a long time. Project Fear's return to Sweet Spring Sanitarium in West Virginia. Now before we dive in, I want to make something clear. I'm going to approach this with both skepticism and an open mind. We're going to look at the evidence they captured, discuss what it could mean from a paranormal perspective, but we're also going to stay grounded and logical about what we're seeing. This isn't about me telling you what to believe. It's about examining the evidence and letting you decide. Sweet Spring Sanitarium has a brutal history. Built in the 1830s by enslaved people, it later became a tuberculosis sanitarium where hundreds died, and eventually a nursing home where patients allegedly died from neglect and abuse. We're talking about over 200 years of suffering compressed into one location. 4 years ago, Project Fear investigated this place and something happened that they claim fundamentally changed them. They were so terrified that they vowed never to return. Well, they went back, and what they captured is genuinely unsettling. Let's break it down. Our first piece of evidence happens almost immediately, and here's what makes it interesting. It occurs in broad daylight. The team is sitting down, reading through the history of the building, when something catches their attention. Let's watch what happens.
Okay. By 1942, the once illustrious resort had turned into a sanitarium for tuberculosis patients. It wasn't long before hundreds of patients filled the beds. Those that did not survive were buried anonymously in the public cemetery on the premises.
Just another layer, another reason why this place is so haunted.
When the tuberculosis outbreak ended in 1944, the sanitarium changed its operation into a nursing home for the poor and elderly. In addition to the many deaths that occurred because of old age, the facility experienced numerous untimely deaths, some of which were caused by patients being scalded to death in the hydrotherapy tubs.
You can only imagine how many patients would die.
Although there's no official record, it is estimated that over...
Dude, I just saw a flashlight.
What?
Like straight up flashlight down the hall.
What?
So, like straight up flashlight.
Behind the camera?
Like all the way into this next room?
All the way down the hall.
Dude, what?
This is the same room where Alex the thud happened on the door. It was right in this room?
Right there.
Yeah, well there's literally nothing.
It looked like that, but it was pointed like towards...
Like this?
Yes. Yes, yeah. Just like that. But it was a lot like oranger. It was like an oranger tungsten.
Hello?
Okay, so let's talk about what we just saw. The entire team reacts to seeing what they describe as an orange or tungsten colored light moving down the hallway. Now what's important here is the timing and the context. They're alone in the building. The owner, Cindy, has confirmed they're the only ones there. So what could this be from a paranormal perspective? There's a theory in paranormal research called residual energy, or stone tape theory. The idea is that minerals, especially stone, brick, and quartz, can record traumatic or even emotionally charged events and play them back under certain conditions, kind of like a DVD on repeat. Sweet Springs was built by enslaved people, brick by brick. These walls were constructed by people in unimaginable suffering. If locations can record energy, this building would be saturated with it. What they might have seen in a residual imprint, someone who walked those halls 100, 150, maybe even 190 years ago with a lantern or torch. But here's where it gets more interesting. And this is where we move from residual to intelligent haunting. This light appears right as they're reading about the deaths in the building. That's not random, that's contextual. That suggests awareness. In paranormal theory, an intelligent haunting means an entity that can interact with the present moment that has consciousness and intention. If this was intelligent, it was essentially saying, I'm here, and I'm listening to you. Now could it be something else? Sure. light refraction, car headlights reflecting off of something. But they're in rural West Virginia. The building is set back from the road. The question you have to ask yourself is, what's more likely? Alright, this next piece of evidence is where things start to get genuinely unsettling. The team splits up. 3 members go to the 3rd floor, and Tanner goes to the basement alone. While on the 3rd floor, they conduct a digital recording session in room 3007, where a woman in white is frequently seen. They ask if anyone remembers them from their previous visit 4 years ago. Let's hear what they captured.
We're getting closer.
Pretty sure this is right where me and Tanner were sitting when we got the EVP. That sounded like this whole place was still functioning like hospital.
Which means 3007.
It's gotta be right there.
There it is.
3007. This is the lady in white. People see her peering out that window.
Is there a woman in here? Are you somewhere on this floor? Can you knock twice if you hear our voice?
If you can hear our voices, can you let us know that you can hear us and understand us?
I think it's about that time to go to the slave quarters. Oh, we heard everything. The scream, the chanting, the taunting. I really don't want to go down there, let's be honest. I'm not afraid to admit it. Why do you have to be so scary? Huge shift. The energy of the room once you get on this side. What the hell, actually? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off the enhanced audio recorder. I'm going to the Ovilus, because that's what I used the first time. This is by far the strangest thing I've ever done. 4 years ago, I was in this same spot, hearing the scariest things I've ever heard in my entire life. I was right here.
So we're gonna ask some questions here in room 3007 and try to get some responses on the digital recorder.
Your hood looks really nice on you too.
Is this the Rockstar hood?
Yeah.
Does it look cool?
It looks really cool, actually.
Seriously?
Oh yeah.
I am rolling on the digital recorder. If anyone in here can hear my voice right now, I have something that will be able to hear your voice. Can you tell us something? Can you give us a message? A lot of people have seen a woman in here wearing a white dress, but nobody knows who you are. Can you tell us your name or what year you were born? Why do people see you so often in this room, looking out this window?
Dude, I feel like I'm really faint footsteps.
Yeah, coming towards us. Who's up here on this 3rd floor right now? We're hearing something in the hallway. We were here several years ago exploring this building. Do you remember us? My sister is sitting right here in this chair. Do you know what her name is? All right, I'm gonna cut and play this back and see if we got any sort of a response.
I don't even want to know what we're gonna find.
Turning on the Ovilus, start asking some questions. Is anybody down here with me? What? It just said run. Oh, the first thing. That's what happened. We all ran. And it's telling me to run right. Dude, what? I just turned this on. Why do you want me to run? Do you remember me? I was here 4 years ago. This is the creepiest thing of all time, man. I remember every tiny bit of this place. Did I just see something move? I could have sworn Something ran right past that. Just went paranormal. My anxiety level is at an all-time high right now. This is just the creepiest feeling I've had ever.
I am rolling on the digital recorder. If anyone in here can hear my voice right now, I have something that will be able to hear your voice. Can you tell us something? Can you give us a message? A lot of people have seen a woman in here wearing a white dress, but nobody knows who you are. Can you tell us your name and what year you were born? Why do people see you so often in this room, looking out this window? What happened to you in this room? We were here several years ago exploring this building. Do you remember us?
Dude, it said, I remember Tanner.
Oh, I hear that.
It said, I remember Tanner.
I heard yes, and then there's a pause.
Yep,
I remember something.
It's Tanner.
It says Tanner, dude.
Let me play it again just to verify.
We were here several years ago exploring this building. Do you remember us?
I remember Tanner, dude.
I have the goosebumps, dude. It says yes. There's like a 1 second pause, and then it's a whispering, I remember Tanner.
Okay, well, whatever that is, Tanner's downstairs by himself, so feel free to go talk to him, because why are you up here?
Now, before we jump to conclusions, let's talk about what electronic voice phenomenon, or EVP, actually is, at least according to paranormal theory. The idea is that spirits or entities can manipulate electromagnetic frequencies, or also known as white noise, or the electronic components in recording devices to form words. They're not speaking in the way we speak. They're manipulating energy to create sounds that form recognizable patterns. The skeptical explanation? Pareidolia, our brain's tendency to find patterns in random noise, radio interference, environmental sounds we misinterpret. But here's what makes this particular EVP compelling: context and clarity. First, it directly answers their question. They asked, "Do you remember us from several years ago?" And got, "Yes, I remember Tanner." That's not random. That's a coherent, relevant response. Second, it specifically names Tanner, who is currently alone in the basement. The entity, if it is an entity, knows there are multiple people in the building and differentiates between them. Now here's where paranormal theory gets really interesting. There's a concept called entity attachment, or targeted haunting. The theory suggests that entities don't just haunt locations, they can form connections with specific individuals, especially people who have strong emotional reactions. Fear, in particular, is believed to be a powerful energy source for certain entities. Tanner's first experience at Sweetwater 4 years ago was traumatic. By his own admission, it broke him. He heard disembodied voices that sounded like Chelsea, experienced extreme fear, and ultimately fled the building. If we're opening under the assumption that entities can feed on or be attracted to fear, and this is a common theory in paranormal research, then Tanner essentially left a psychic imprint on this location. He became memorable. Think about it from an entity's perspective, if entities exist. Most people who visit might feel uneasy, might get a little scared, but someone who has a complete breakdown, someone who runs from the building in terror, that's a significant energy event. The EVP saying, "I remember Tanner," could mean one of two things. Either there's an entity that formed an attachment to him specifically, or, and this is the more unsettling theory, the building itself has developed a kind of consciousness from 200 years of trauma and death, and it remembers people who react strongly. Is this proof of the paranormal? No. But it's damn compelling evidence that something unusual is happening in that building. Now we're going to talk about what happened to Tanner in the basement, because this is where the investigation starts to feel targeted. Tanner is alone in the basement, the same location where he had the breakdown 4 years ago. He's using an Ovilus device. For those who don't know, an Ovilus supposedly converts environmental energy into words from a built-in database. Skeptics argue it's just random word generation. Believers say entities manipulate the environment to select specific words. Tanner turns it on and, well, let's watch.
Turning on the Ovilus, start asking some questions. Is anybody down here with me? What? It just said run. Oh, the first thing. That's what happened. We all ran. But it's telling me to run right. Dude, what? I just turned this on. Why do you want me to run? Do you remember me? I was here 4 years ago. This is the creepiest thing of all time, man. I remember every tiny bit of this place. Did I just see something move? I could have sworn something ran right past that. Just went paranormal. My anxiety level is at an all-time high right now. This is just the creepiest feeling I've had ever.
The very first word that comes through is run. And here's the kicker. 4 years ago, when they all fled Sweet Springs in terror, they said it felt like something was telling them to run. They all had the same impulse at the same time. So either this is an incredible coincidence or something in that basement remembers what happened and is repeating the same message. Let's explore the paranormal theories here. Theory 1. Precognitive warning. Some paranormal researchers believe certain entities can perceive near-future events or sense danger. The run command might not be a threat, it could be a warning. Maybe there's something else in that basement, something more dangerous, and an entity is trying to protect them. This would actually align with reports from other locations where investigators describe feeling like they were being warned away rather than threatened. Theory 2. Residual loop. We talked about residual energy earlier, events replaying like a recording. The team's terrified flight from the building 4 years ago was an intense emotional event. Could that event somehow be imprinted on the location? Could the building be replaying the energy, essentially showing them an echo of their own past? Theory 3, and this is the most unsettling, psychological warfare. If there is an intelligent entity in that basement, and if it specifically remembers Tanner, then immediately telling him to run is a power move. It's saying, I know what happened last time, I know what scares you, and I can make it happen again. What makes this particularly compelling is Tanner's reaction. This is an experienced investigator. He's been to dozens of locations, but you can see in the footage he's genuinely shaken. That's not someone playing up fear for the camera. That's real psychological distress. From a logical standpoint, could the Ovilus have randomly generated the word run? Absolutely. These devices have databases of hundreds or thousands of words, but the odds of that specific word at that specific moment in that specific location where the exact scenario played out 4 years ago? You can decide what to think is more probable. Alright, this next piece of evidence is, in my opinion, the most disturbing thing they captured. And I want you to pay close attention to not just what happens, but the team's reaction to it. They're in the basement using a spirit box for the first time. The spirit box rapidly scans radio frequencies, and the theory is that entities can manipulate these frequencies to form words and sentences. Unlike the robotic voice of the Ovilus, if something comes through on a spirit box, it's supposedly the actual voice of the entity. They're asking questions, getting some responses, and then this happens.
He's got a cross.
My cross? I've worn this since season 1.
Tanner, you were the one that wears a cross, and I'm the one that was praying.
And that's why it remembers us.
Is that why you don't like Tanner? He's got a cross on? Are you not a holy person? Are you against God, against Christianity? Can you confirm why you don't like Tanner? Tell us why you don't like him.
It's like Christian.
It did sound like Christian. so
That was
scared.
laughing, dude.
Hear like a female, like, yeah, like almost like a witch laugh.
It was like mocking laugh, like snickering.
Yeah.
What the? What the? Are you laughing at us?
Are you mocking us?
Who are you?
What era of this location do you come from? Were you a patient at the sanatorium? Were you here when this was a retreat?
Do you want to hurt us?
Just to prove that you're intelligent and you can hear us, can you say the word Tanner or Chelsea? We're gonna move on to a different part of the building unless you say something intelligent, not just laugh.
What did it say?
Something.
Yeah.
I don't give a f.
All right, we're gonna go silent for a minute. We're gonna give you the floor to talk, whatever you want to say.
Oh, dude. What the fuck? What is happening? What the hell is that?
Sounded like you.
It died. It died.
What the hell, bro?
No way, dude. It's not on anymore.
That sounded like us,
Sounded
bro.
like you screaming and then me screaming.
I want to like replay that.
Can we replay this? You guys, I need to hear this.
We're cutting Tanner's camera so we can watch this back, but we are almost certain that we got what sounded like Tanner screaming and Chelsea screaming on the freaking spirit box, and then it died.
That couldn't get any creepier.
We were about to give up though. Like I literally said, the floor is yours, you have 1 minute. And then that happened. So we got the actual speaker from the spirit box hooked up to the camera, and we're gonna replay this so we can hear what we just heard.
Oh, dude. What the fuck? What is happening? That was your scream. That's your scream.
I know.
Oh,
Wait.
that's me.
What the fuck?
What is happening? That's your scream and me talking.
The first voice is definitely Tanner's, then there's like a glitch, and then your scream almost comes through. Well, I don't know if it's the same scream, but it's your scream and your voice. And what did Cindy tell us when we showed up today? That it said Chelsea and Tanner knew you were coming.
us.
It remembered you. I think something is trying to screw with us again, freak us out like last time, because I am so freaking scared now.
Only location that's ever scared us out of here, and it's this close to doing it again.
Did you catch that? They heard what sounded like their own voices screaming through the spirit box, and then the device immediately died. Let me play that audio analysis part again because this is important. Okay, let's talk about what we just witnessed, because this is where we need to really think critically about what's happening here. From a technical standpoint, a spirit box scans AM, FM radio frequencies. Could it have picked up a stray radio signal? Possibly. But these investigators are in rural West Virginia at 2 a.m. There aren't a lot of radio stations broadcasting, and the odds of picking up someone who sounds exactly like Chelsea screaming, followed immediately by a sound resembling Tanner's voice? That's not probable. From a paranormal perspective, what they might have encountered is called a mimic entity, or vocal manifestation phenomenon. There are numerous documented cases, and I'm talking about cases from experienced paranormal investigators, demonologists, and researchers of entities that can replicate human voices. This ability is often associated with more powerful or malevolent entities. The theory behind why they do this is psychological warfare. Think about it. Hearing your own voice, or the voice of someone you know, coming from an unknown source? That's deeply unsettling on a primal level. It violates our sense of reality and safety. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Remember what the building owner, Cindy, told them when they arrived. She said she asked the spirits, "Do you know who's coming?" And the ghost box said Chelsea. Then she asked who else, and it said Tanner's name. So we have a pattern. The entities know their names. The entities remember them from 4 years ago, and now, potentially, the entities can mimic their voices. If we're exploring this from a paranormal framework, this suggests a level of intelligence and power that goes beyond a simple residual haunting. This is something that observes, remembers, and can manipulate its environment in sophisticated ways. Now, there's another theory we need to discuss: temporal echo or temporal manipulation. Some advanced paranormal theories suggest that powerful entities can pull sounds from different points in time, past, present, or even potential futures. Were they hearing their own screams from 4 years ago, from later that night, or was this a manifestation of potential fear? What could happen? There's also the psychological element we can't ignore. The team is already on edge. They're in a location that traumatized them. They're expecting something to happen. Could their heightened state of fear and anticipation be causing them to interpret random static as voices? Maybe. But then why did the device die immediately after? Equipment malfunctions can happen, sure. Batteries drain, electronics fail, but the timing, right after this disturbing occurrence, adds another layer of strangeness. In paranormal research, there's a well-documented phenomenon on entities draining batteries and interfering with electronic equipment. The theory is that they need energy to manifest, and they pull it from all available sources, including electronic devices. The team's reaction is also important here. Watch their body language, their tone. These aren't people hamming it up, they're genuinely disturbed, and immediately after this, they actually debate leaving the building entirely. That speaks volumes. What makes this case compelling isn't just one piece of evidence, it's the totality. It's the patterns. It's the intelligence. It's the consistency over years. It's multiple witnesses having similar experiences independently. You could choose to believe it's paranormal, or you could choose to believe that there's a rational explanation that we haven't found yet. But you can't deny that something is happening. So what do you think? Are Tanner and Chelsea dealing with genuine paranormal activity? Is there a demonic presence in Sweet Springs? Or is there a rational explanation for everything they experienced? Drop your theories in the comments, and if you're familiar with paranormal research, or have expertise in psychology, skepticism, or investigation, I'd love to hear your perspective. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the evidence, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. I'll be doing more paranormal analysis videos, and I want to hear what cases you'd like me to cover next. And hey, if you're feeling brave, go check out Project Fear's channel and watch the full investigation. Link is in the description. Watch their follow-up video where they sleep alone in different parts of the building, because apparently they're either incredibly brave or incredibly foolish. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and stay safe out there.